I wanted to go over my bars again because I did change them. Now, I had a few setups on here already. I tried the ones that are on the CVO STs. I thought it felt really good in the shop when I sat on the bikes. By riding it, it wasn't great. So, you know, for back reasons and everything else, I ended up going back to KRAUS risers, 10-inch. And this time I went with the THRASHIN mid-rise bars. Normally I get KRAUS. I've had THRASHIN triple trees, THRASHIN floorboards. I still have some pegs here. I just happen to like these floorboards, so I don't want to change them out yet. But I still might put my THRASHIN back on there. But these bars, 10-inch, you don't have to cut anything. Everything fits right in there. I did buy a new triple tree cover. I did have to drill out, because this was solid, because the CVO forks are different. This was sticking up too high, so I had to make a 2-inch hole on each side. Now, the reason why I did that was because I tried a different riser on this bike with a pullback, and it was in the way, and me, the idiot, decided to cut my matching cover, triple tree cover. Like you can see the cuts right here. Well, I couldn't stand riding with that looking like that. And when I took the other trees off, because they were still wasn't comfortable enough. So, and here's the holes that comes from Harley, and you can see it's all pre-molded. So I went back to Harley to see how much a new one of these were, and they wanted $235 each side. So for 50 bucks, I got a black one, and I can paint it and do whatever I want with it. I wanted to make sure it worked and it fit, and it does. And actually, I don't mind it flat black. It kind of breaks up the matchy-matchy, which I'm not crazy about everything matching, so I might just leave it. I don't really care what anybody thinks because it's my bike, and it's what I like. But these bars, get back to this. Now, these mid-size THRASHIN bars, and these KRAUS risers, and the reason why now, I mean, I'm not knocking THRASHIN or anybody. I like all their products. The only reason I went with these risers is because there are bushings in here that do absorb some of the pounding from the road. I did have other risers on here that did not have bushings, and I was running solid bushings down in here instead of the rubber ones that Harley give you. I was putting the aluminum ones in top and bottom, so you do feel a difference. It wasn't drastic. I mean, I live in Florida. The roads are pretty good down here. It's not like riding in New York and all the BQE and all that crap. So it wasn't that bad. But this setup right now to me is perfect. I love this setup. I've been riding KRAUS and THRASHIN now since I think 18. I've been riding most of the, you know, I noticed KRAUS first is the one I found. I had it on my 19 Street Glide. I put it on, and I had a couple other bikes I had. I kept the same theme. I really like it. I like the way it feels, like the control I have. I haven't found a buckhorn bar that makes me feel and sit the same way. That's why I did not go with them. Although a friend of mine at Crazy Rides has 14-inch bars on his bike, and I forget who he got them from, and they were unbelievably comfortable. I would never have thought the way they're designed that it would put you in the position it does, and it was really nice. But again, I just like this setup better. It doesn't block my infotainment, especially on this bike. My last bike, I had the gauges on here, which was really nice. I like that a lot. And but this is a cool setup. I mean, I like the all digital. You know, I'm an analog guy, old school, but this technology is really cool. I don't care if a lot of people don't like it. I like it. It works for me, and that's all that matters. So, yeah, so this is a cool setup. I like it a lot. Anybody interested, you know, you can go to KRAUS, you can go to THRASHIN, find these mid-size bars for the 23.5 CVOs and 24s. They're all ready to go. I did have, this bike came with heated grips. I did take them off only because the grip diameter is just way too thick with the heat, and it bothers my hands. So, and you know, again, I'm in Florida. I don't really need heated grips, and they're easy to put on with this new setup Harley did. I just have to take these off, open this up, and plug them in. Boom, you're back in business. It's not a big deal. So I don't have to go through the bars and into the fairing or anything like that. Everything's right here, which is really cool. So it's a good setup. I figured I'd share that with you. This is my third set of trees and bars now. And I just should have went with this in the first place. But again, I like the way the ST was set up. I really like that bike a lot, even though it doesn't have locking bags, doesn't have rear speakers or an amp. It doesn't have rear pegs. This bike is basically the same except for like the rims. And of course the engine is not, this is VVT 121. The other one is VVT, is a 121 non-VVT with more horsepower. And they did put a cam in it. I heard the new ones, the 24s, which is pretty cool. I think they put a 550 in that. So you're going to get some good power out of the ST. But the price tag is still way too high for me, and this came nowhere near it. It's the only reason why I took it. The guy gave me a really good deal, like I've said in past videos. But I do like the black. I mean, it looks good to me. So, you know, I'm comfortable. I went out riding Saturday with the boys. Took about an hour and a half ride each way, and it was good, nice and comfortable. I did have this seat. I was putting stuff in the bike. I did have the seat recovered, and had it made with the CVO, because the material that came with it was like an Alcataran or something, like suede almost, and it's not very comfortable. So this guy redid my seat. He put a pad in here, which is a little bit softer. It's still not great, but it's better than what it was, and it looks a hell of a lot better. So he customized it nice for me. I mean, look at the stitching on this thing. This guy's in South Florida. I'll post, I have a card of his somewhere over here. I got to dig it up. But yeah. So, and I got to go over my CarPlay I set up in this bike and everything. So, but that's about it. So, rock on. Later. Just a quick note. Here is the guy, Will, from Cyclops USA. He's in Fort Lauderdale. He did nice seat coverings. So anybody wants to give him a call if you're interested, you know, top grade marine vinyl he uses and stuff. He'll do it pretty much whatever you want. And that's that.